Hi, everyone, and welcome to Human Growth and Development. My name is Dr. Cynthia Vance, and I'll be the instructor for this class. I just wanted to make this short video to show you a little bit about how to navigate through the Canvas course and tell you what's required for the class. So let me start by showing you the Canvas page. Okay, so here is the course Canvas page. It will look a little bit different for you because the student view is different than the instructor view. The easiest way to navigate is, I think, to go to modules over here on the left. And the modules are basically every module is a week. So the first week is module 1, the second week is module 2, etc. So go to the first one under module 1, and then scroll down, and the first page is always going to be, this is what we're doing this week. There's not usually very much here. Make sure that all of you click on the student responsibility agreement and do that. That's important that you do in all of your classes. And then the assignments are all here, and they have clicks for you to go to. So that's kind of an overview of what you'll have to do every week. Let's look at one that's a little further into the class, just so you get an idea about what you're going to be looking at. Let's pick this one. So you'll see that I've got, again, here's the assignments for the week. But before you do them, I mean, I always have a sort of a beginning quiz. It's not part of your grade. I think there are 10 questions, or true, false, just so you get an idea about the material that's going to be covered, and to see how well you know the material before we get started. But before you go and do all of this, what I'd like you to do is kind of go through. You can do this two ways. You can click on the next button, or if it's not there, or you can click on this. Sometimes this isn't there. I don't know why. And then I've got some material in here, oftentimes referring to material in the book. And then there's links, as you can see, if there's a link there, you can something to look at. I've tried to include like graphics and things to make it a bit more interesting. And this is about adolescence. And so I'm talking about distracted drivers, and why you shouldn't drive and text at the same time, which I'm sure you knew that, and how millennials think that they are good at multitasking, which nobody is. And then, you kind of scroll through, and I love cartoons. So I've got a lot of cartoons, and, just things to look at. And I usually have like a video somewhere, and I think I do in one of the next pages. This is all still part of the same week's worth. And yeah, I've got a lot of TED Talks. I love TED Talks. And so you just click on that and you can watch the video. And so you kind of get an idea, and then again, articles to look at. And the last one, this isn't the last one, but is always in every module is always the study guide for that module. So here's study questions for that chapter. So if it's module 9, it's chapter 9. It just kind of works out that way. Mostly it kind of gets mixed up a little bit towards the end, but don't worry about that. So that's kind of the way you navigate through. Something else that you can also do, just click on home to get back to the beginning. The syllabus, I haven't uploaded it yet because I have to have it go through a process before it can be approved. But if you go to the syllabus, there'll be a link for it here, which I have sent all of you. And then in addition, for every week, you can see what's due, and then links to it as well. So this is another way to quickly tell what do I have to do. You can also go to assignments over here on the left, and you'll see the different assignments and how much they are due. So you can see the discussions, which I'll talk about in a minute, are all of them together are worth 20% of your grade. And then there's the exams. You probably won't be able to see those because I haven't published them yet. And then the Launchpad, which I'll also talk about in a moment, and the observational report, which again, I haven't published, so you won't be able to see it, but you will by the time it's due. So that just different ways to kind of navigate around the class. There's also a link for discussions that you can click on to get all of those as well. I want to now talk about the exams. There will be 3 exams. They are each worth 15% of your grade, and they will have probably around 60 multiple choice questions. I'm not positive yet. And they will be timed. So if there's 60 questions, you'll have 60 minutes to complete the exam. Your exam will not be the same as anybody else's. What I do is I have a pool of questions. So for whatever chapters are covered on the exam, there will be a pool of questions. And then I will have it randomly draw however many questions from that chapter, and then all of those chapters together, and then that will be your exam. So there will be some questions that are similar, that will be the same for other students, but not all of them. They'll also be in a different order as well. Again, anything just trying to eliminate any kind of cheating issues. And so that's in case you're wondering why I do that. So as I said, the exams are timed, and you will have for each exam, you will have from Friday at 8 a.m. on the week it's due until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So you'll have 3 days to do the exams. You can do it anytime you want in that 3-day period. But once you start it, you're going to need to finish it. So make sure you've got a good internet connection that's stable. And for those of you who live on campus, you could probably find one of the wired internet connections in a computer lab or the library and not have to worry about Wi-Fi in the dorms. If that's an issue, I don't know if it is, but just make sure you've got a stable internet connection. And if you do have some kind of internet connection or other computer problem while you're taking an exam, you need to email me immediately. And if you can take a screenshot if something went wrong, that's going to help. So I can both let you do it again and see if I can fix whatever the problem is. That doesn't generally happen, but just in case, try to screenshot it or tell me, don't wait a day or two before you tell me. Tell me as soon as you have a problem. And so that's the exams. And so those are worth, as I said, 15% each, and there's 3 of them. Next, I want to talk to you about what's called Launchpad. This is part of your textbook. You need to make sure that you buy a textbook that has access to Launchpad. Let me show you what this looks like. When you first log in to Launchpad, you're going to, if you've already bought your book and you bought the right one, you'll get a code, and you'll just put the code in and it will bring you right to this page I'm showing you here. And if you haven't, go to the link on your syllabus, again, which I will be sending you, and it will take you to like the opening page that says, do you want to create an account? And you do. And then you have 3 choices. You can either put in your code, or you can purchase access right there, and you'll have access to the electronic book, or you can get 3 weeks for free. So if you can't buy your book yet, then that's a good option for you, but you will need to buy it within 3 weeks, because you won't be able to do assignments anymore. And there are assignments due every week. So once you get in, it will look something like this. It looks a little bit different for you than it does for me. Here's more of the student view for what it looks like for you. And so you can click on any one of these and it will tell you the assignments that you have to do and the number of points that they're worth. So for example, in order for you to see all of the things that are in Launchpad, I have to assign it. Now, I've only assigned some of them that are part of your grade, but if I didn't assign the others, you wouldn't be able to see them. And so I think it's really useful to have access to some of these other things, because I think they're a really good way to help you study the material for the exams. So you can kind of tell what you have to do and what you can do by looking very easily at the side over here. So you can see in here that the light blue sort of little button says optional, and it also has above it a date that says May 31st. Now, May 31st is after the class is over. So if anything has a due date of May 31st, you know that it is not required. That it is one of these optional things that you can do. However, if it's a dark blue button and it says to do on it, then you will know that that's one that's required. So this one, you can see this video activity, what's wrong with this study? It says to do, it says January 16th. It's got a due date that's not May 31st, and it's got the points out here. So when you're ready to do that, you can click on it here. You can also click on it from the Canvas page and it will take you to here. Either way works. Whatever you want to do is just fine. However, if you can, for at least one assignment the first week, there's 2 of them due the first week, if you can go from the Canvas page to Launchpad, just click on the link in the Canvas page to the Launchpad. That way it will have your grades automatically go back to the Canvas page. If you just go straight to Launchpad and don't go through Canvas, it won't do that. And so if you just do it once, then I think the rest of them will go. Otherwise, I have to transfer them back. Which I can do, but it's just easier for me and for you because your grades will just automatically populate in the Canvas page. So you can see that you don't have to do very many of them, but you can do as many as you like. And every chapter has a practice quiz. Now, some of them are required. Some of them are part of your grade. You can see that this one is not. So when you have to take the first exam, which will include chapter 1, this is a good thing to study. So you can take this exam. Your grade, it will not affect your grade if you do poorly on it. It will not affect your grade at all, but it would help you to see oh, maybe I need to look over some parts of chapter 1 again. So the chapter quizzes are a really good way to help you study. Another good way to help you study for the exam are what's called learning curve. And they have learning curves in, I think, every section in here. So you can see here is learning curve growth in infancy. And when you go, what this is kind of supposed to be game-like. And so you can see you need to get 450 points to finish the activity. And then when you begin the activity, there are questions. And you can either just answer the question, or you can get a hint. You get fewer points if you get a hint. You can just go to where it says in the book, what it'll kind of help you find the answer in the book, or you can have it just show you the answer when you won't get any points. So when you, I'm just going to show me the answer. So then it tells me the answer, okay, next question. And then, so you just kind of go, okay, what occurs in the brain during the pruning process? And okay, so there we go. Submit your answer. Yay, I got it right. And then that's the points, and just go to the next question. So, and all you do is just go through, and then you see your points as you go along. So it's kind of a nice way to learn the material. And I highly recommend you doing the learning curves as we go along, and that way it will help you understand the material. And also, if you don't do them as you go along, do them when you're getting ready to take the exam, because it's a really good way to test your understanding. Okay. And then the last thing, let me go back to Launchpad, the last assignment that we have. So there's discussions every week. I'll talk about those again in a second. There's the Launchpad, and then there is the observational report. The paper that you have to write is an observational report, and that is described in the syllabus. And you'll get to see, you'll have some choices about which activity you're going to do. You're going to observe children in some situation or another. And even though we've got COVID going on, there's still usually lots of ways to do this. So look them over. And if you have questions, please feel free to contact me, and I can kind of help you figure out a way that you can do some of these. One of them is like observing parents and seeing what kind of parenting style they have. And you can generally do that by going to the grocery store and sort of carefully following somebody around for a while. Or if you happen to be in a restaurant and you see a family of parents and you figure out their parenting style. Children at play, there are kids on playgrounds that you can watch. Ask before you do that. Or you might know people who have kids that would let you do the conservation tasks with them, for example. So the observation report is due middle of April, I think. So you have a little while to think about how you're going to do that. And in addition, that assignment is part of the general education assessment. And so it gets turned in. I will remind you about that to a very specific email address, which is on the syllabus, but I will remind you about that. And I'll have you send it to me as well, so I know that you've turned it in that way. And then the last part, and a really important part of the class, is the discussions. And the discussions are, there's one every week, and you have a question or something you have to read. I post what I want you to talk about, and then you will answer my post to get all the points by Friday at 11:59 p.m. And our course week runs from Monday to Sunday. So by Friday night, you need to have your original post. And then on Saturday or Sunday, although you can do it sooner if people have done their original posts early enough, you need to respond to at least one of your classmates. So you're going to be doing 2 posts a week, 5 points for each one. And I've gone over on the syllabus, and it's also in the Canvas page, the requirements for how you get the number of points. Basically, what I want you to do is, if there's something that you're supposed to read, show that you've read it. If there's something you're supposed to watch, a video that you're supposed to watch, show that you've watched it. Just talk about it in your post. That's the way to get the point for the post, is to talk about what was required. What did you have to read? What did you have to watch? What did you have to think about? And show that you've done that in your post. So if you do your original post by Friday and then respond to a classmate before Sunday, that's what you need to do. If you don't have your original post by Friday and you do it on Saturday, you'll lose 1 point on their original post. And if you don't do it until Sunday, you'll lose 2 points out of 5 on that original post. So you really need to do them on time. You cannot do them late. Unless there's some extenuating circumstance, you cannot do them late. And the reason you can't do them late is it's discussion. Nobody's going to go back on week 2 and read the posts from week 1. So you'd be like writing them, and no one's going to be reading them, except for me, of course. But the idea is that this is class discussion. These are the things that we would be talking about in class. So it's really important that you do them when you're supposed to do them. Don't just agree with people. You can agree with people. Oh, I agree with what you said. But have you thought about it like this? That's kind of what you want to do. Just like a conversation, you just agree with somebody, it just kind of stops the conversation. And so you want to be able to, kind of keep the conversation going. That's the way I think about the discussion. Keep the conversation going, ask questions, point out things that you agree with or don't agree with, and why. It's not just your opinion. Your opinion is okay, but this is a college class, so you want to show that you have thought about what the material is. Okay, so I'm hoping that that's been helpful to you in terms of showing you what has to happen in the class and kind of how to navigate. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. If you're on the Demorest campus, my office is in Daniel Hall, and you can come and talk to me if you need to. My office hours are noon to 12 every day. And you don't need to make an appointment if you come during that time. If you're not on the Demorest campus, then I'm happy to do a Zoom meeting with you during my office hours or at any other time that we're both available. That's fine. But just let me know if there's any issues with the class, with links that don't work. Please tell me as soon as possible so I can fix them if necessary. I hope you enjoy the class, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.